Hey, what's up, WARLINE fans? It's your friendly neighborhood game creator, LJ. I'm sitting here tonight thinking about teaching you a little bit about how to play Dragon's War via Tabletop Simulator. Boom. Uh, if you're not familiar with Tabletop Simulator already, it is a 3D board game simulation environment thing you can get on Steam for a relatively low price. Um, that enables you to play board games in real time in 3D with other players if you choose. And any any person, any creator can make they call it a module, a mod um, of their game for Tabletop Simulator. So and distribute that for free. So WARLINE is available on the Tabletop Simulator Workshop for free for anybody who wants to check out the base game or Dragon's War, because the mod now fully supports both configurations. So, but we're doing Dragon's War today, so let me go ahead and get some stuff set up over here. We're going to move the main board off. Let's put it over here for now. Then we're going to unlock the Dragon's War board, put it right in the middle, and we'll lock it back up again just so we don't accidentally interact with it. And then we're going to need the Dragon's War components. We already have the player army components over here. And then I'm going to play as the Frost and the Flame. I'm running a solo 2 army configuration, which means I will be controlling both the black and the white army, each a different kingdom, which means they have different battle arts, which are their asymmetric powers. We're going to be battling the Lesser Dragon Shame, because why not? So these are the dragon attack cards you can see here. This is what the face one looks like. Um, this is the deck right here, which let me see where we at. B. Um, we're going to go ahead and put over here and shuffle this up. So this deck will grow over time. Cards from this reserve over here will get added in correlation with um, the dragon being reduced in its health. So let me pull one of these out real quick. So you'll see here all 5 of the cards that start in the deck are Phase A cards. You can see Phase A at the bottom right corner. And you will add over time additional phases. So respectively too. So Phase B, then C, then D, all the way to Phase X, which is the final phase. Just shuffle it up, nice and shuffled. Shuffle up the mercenary support cards, reveal them. What we got here? Ooh. Some of the cards in this deck are not used in Dragon's War. There are 4 cards that are not. They're still in this deck, so if they ever come out during this play session, then I would just toss them aside and replace them with another. All these are good to go, though. Alright, so these 2 D8s are actual custom D8s in the real game that have, one of them has the numbers 1 to 7, and the, let's see, the 4 is repeated, so there's 2 4 faces, and the other one is A through G, where the D is on 2 faces. So those will be used by Shame. I'll explain those in a little bit here. Bring the rest of the Shame stuff that's going to be active right here, close by. These are Shame's plasma conflagration tiles. It's a little bit of a stretch texture, sorry. They do the job though. So I'm not going to explain how to play the core of this, the base game. Just going to go through and talk about how Dragon's War works as I play. So the board, you see here, same 7x7 grid of battlefield zones. Differences being down here at the bottom. This is the player side dragon graveyard. So these dragon skulls are where these cubes are going to go. They're not going to snap right now to the right spot, so I'll put them to the left of them. They'll hit right to the left. It's some work I have to do on the mod, but it works just fine otherwise. So they'll go on there as the dragon is reduced in power. Its life, if you cover all 6 of these, or I guess in the Tabletop Simulator present state, if you place all 6 cubes on this row, then you are victorious, and that is the way you win. On the left side is the graveyard. If you're familiar with the graveyard from the base game, works the same way. Only thing is, this is the dragon's graveyard. It's over here on its side. You do not have a graveyard because you cannot imprison a 750-foot beast. Just can't happen. And then on the top up here, that is the graveyard that the dragon will place your battalions. You'll see each one has 2 skulls, a more opaque one and a less opaque one behind it. So this is for the double skulls is used to handle the difference between 2 army or single army play. So solo 1 army play or solo 2 army / co-op 2 army. And so you'll place, when the dragon slaughters your units, they will be placed on there. And if in solo 1 army, if all 5 of these front ones are covered, then the dragon is victorious. That's how the dragon wins. The dragon can also win by shackle, just like in the main game. So in 1 army, it's 3 battalions simultaneously. Back to the graveyard. If you're playing 2 armies, then you put 2 battalions on each slot, and if there are 10 total, then you lose. And then similarly with the graveyard, if you're playing 2 armies, the dragon must imprison 4 to become victorious. So aside of that, we got just a little bit more setup to do before Dragon's War. We always start by creating the initial dragon attack column. So the number of cards in this column is directly correlated to the phase, which you will see on the face of the die. We are on phase A. A dragon die, dragon cube, whatever you want to refer to it as, always starts with the face up of the number with the big black underline. That is the largest number on the cube itself, on any given cube, in increments of 6. So 36, you'll see 30, 24, etc., etc. And so dragon always starts at full power. You put him off to the side here. He's not going to start. He doesn't start on the battlefield. But another important thing to look at here is the diamond, the rose-colored diamond. That is the dragon's magic. What it is used for in the case of the dragon, instead of action points for battle arts, it is the number of cards in its column. And so you can see how as it goes up in phase / down in health, the magic increases. So more and more cards are delivered in the sequence over time. So right now we start with 1, and so that always gets flipped. When you fill this column, you're always pulling and placing, then placing the next one down, placing the next one down. So filling it away from the deck. And so now we are ready to start the well, almost ready actually. We need to actually populate the map first um, before we start strategic craft. So off screen, I'm opening up Google Drive to the print and play kit, which has a directory full of maps for Dragon's War. There are 10 maps in there. Those are the 10 maps that will come in the, let me bring this over here for you, that will come in the book. So you have these 10 maps here. We're going to go ahead and run through. Um, let's do the pass through Shame's Orchard. We are invading this gentleman. So this is the map we're going to recreate. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Take some shortcuts. Control C, Control V in Tabletop Simulator for duplicating tiles. So these are forest terrain. Forest cost 3 magic to march into. Ramparts cannot be built upon them. And if you do resolve a sacrifice on it, it combusts and propagates. So we still got a few more of these to go. And then we have some water body for this old partially dried up river with little pockets. Alright, and there we go. It's that simple. So again, so you can see the map. I just rebuilt it for Dragon's War. Alright, so here we go. Now we can start strategic craft. This is the stage in which I will basically actively plot out my strategy by configuring my armies and other starting components. So the first thing we do is we skip scouting terrain, which in the base game is the first phase of strategic craft because the terrain is pre-configured. We go straight to outpost establishment, and so I will establish my outpost. So because I'm doing 2 armies, I've got 4 outposts to establish. One cool thing about Dragon's War is the color of the outpost. If you're playing 2 armies, does not matter, as it doesn't head-to-head play. Any a black or white cube can be extricated to either black or white outpost. So I'm gonna go ahead and rotate those all, since we're all going to be looking at it from the same orientation the whole time. So I'm going to drop this one right here, and we're going to put this other one right here. You know what? We're just going to cover up most of that water body. So we're going to cancel out those tough to move through areas we can't do here because it is not either player's territory. So we'll do we've got Flame who can incinerate forest, and I'm going to put this right here. It's a good spot for extrication. As you play against the various, there are 6 lesser dragons to choose from at Dragon's War. As you play against them, you will become more and more familiar with their attack patterns. I will explain the anatomy of this car in a bit here, but as you can imagine, you'd want to become familiar enough where you're making these kind of decisions, like where your outposts are, based on common spots that this guy will land, etc., during attacks, among the other factors that you want to think about, such as what's a good place to extricate to that gets me back into the action quickly. So outposts can never be pillaged in Dragon's War. Dragon can't pillage your outposts, so you don't have to worry about protecting them for anything. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to configure both armies. We are going to, so black is going to choose Magnificent Recovery, and then draw its blind. Ooh, we got a 3. Sweet. Is going to white as in me. We're going expert navigation for our choice card and pulling the blind. We got a bunch of frosty mercenaries. All our mercenaries are from the frost. This is whites, blacks is right here. We don't have to hide these as we do behind our screen in head-to-head mode for the obvious reason that there's no one else that can see them, so there's no one to hide them from. Alright, and so now we'll configure our armies after I fill this in. We're going to run. I'm not going to put too much thought into this right now, just so I can kind of get you into the action sooner rather than later. The black is going to go super heavy, 666, 111, half heavy, half light, half ultra heavy, half light. Let's get these spin around so you can see the numbers appropriately. We're going to go, Frost is going to go 6, 4, 4, 3, 3, 1. And now we will deploy. And so this is 2x2 deployment, just like in base game, side by side. Alright, so let's very importantly look at the first dragon attack that's going to come out. So the way the flow works is the dragon always takes its round first and play around. So it's dragon round to start, then play around the dragon round, etc., etc. Just alternates from there. But after I deploy, then that's when the dragon will start its first round. So I'm going to want to deploy in regions that I'm not just setting myself up for getting heavily damaged right away. So anatomy of these cards, bottom right I mentioned earlier, phase A. Then there's just the dragon sigil, just to be consistent with the kingdoms, how they have their sigil in the bottom right. I don't think there's any mistaking that this is a dragon. So, but it's cool looking. That's actually a placeholder. We have a final one from the artist Chin, and it's even cooler. So you see a approximation of the map in the top left zone of the card, region of the card, shows you the board orientation north facing, which corresponds to this, so that way you know where to place these things in relation to the orientation of the board. And then you'll see the gray marks are just null zones, nothing happens there. The red zones are the zones in which the dragon's attack lands. And the zone with the dragon sigil on it is the position at which the dragon lands for that attack. Down below that map is the effects of the attack. So that is the effects that are applied to any battalion, any uncovered battalion that is in one of the red zones. And so in this case, it's simple as damage, 2 damage. So let's go ahead and get started with deployment. We're obviously not going to deploy anywhere here, or in this cross section here. So he's only going to do 1 attack this round, so we know he's going to be, at the end of his attack sequence, he will be here at A7. So we want to try to position ourselves in a good way to be able to get some big hits on him right away. We're going to drop a 6 right here, and you'll see why in a bit here. That's going to be fun. And then I'm going to drop a 1 right here. I'm going to face him to the west here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my frost 6. We're going to say the black is the frost and or the white is the frost and the black is the flame. So my frost 6, we're going to get her all prepped up over here. And then I'm going to drop a frost 4 right here. And you might be saying, what the hell are you doing, LJ? You're going to get nailed. Well, I'm going to get drop 2. So that's going to reduce me down to a 2. I can still do some punching with a 2. So that's it's a as you play, get better and better. You'll learn to know when to make sacrifices like that. Sacrifice is a key theme of WARLINE in general. Tangible and intangible sacrifice. And then back to black. Black is the flame. Oh my god. We are going to we'll just go right here in this outpost and wait. Because I think, yeah. Go right in the center of the board, facing north. We get another one right in the center stacked and facing south. Which actually, it wasn't that guy's turn yet, but in the end it doesn't matter. The frost will be stacked facing south. And then the 3, I'm going to drop right here, facing west. And then finally, I'm going to drop a 6 here, facing to the south. A 1 covering it. And then a stack of 4 over this 6, and then a 3 over this 3, and we're ready to go. And so now we run the first dragon route. Let's get at it. So as you see, the dragon, the arms value on the dragon does the same thing that the arms value does on battalions. That is, it represents both its damage during engagement and its the damage it will deal during engagement and its health, essentially its life. So if this dragon were to engage any of my battalions, that is to land right on top of them, it will do 36 damage, and there's pretty unlikely you have enough cards to soak up all that. So you don't want to get engaged by the dragon in most cases early on in the match. So he's going to land here, and then again he's going to deal 2 damage in the cross shape here, which does not affect any of my battalions, but here this battalion, this 4, gets dropped to a 2. You can see it's a 2 now. And then that's it. It's that simple. We discard that one. Let's use discard over here. And then every dragon, every different lesser dragon has a unique special ability too. You can find that in the print and play rules. There's a link to that on the campaign page. Shame has plasma conflagration, the hardest word ever to say. But what that means is that functionally, at the after he finishes his attack sequence, he will roll the 2 d8s, and we're going to use this one on the left as the letter. So we'll just correspond the letter, the number 2, an alphabet letter. And so this signifies the zone in which his plasma conflagration, I'm going to trip up on that all night long, It's where it is the heart of its target. So 3 is C1, so C1 is right here. And so what you would do is you'll place a plasma, I'm just going to call it plasma tile on it, and then on the target, and then on each zone adjacent to the target. If there are battalions there or anything else, then you just put it underneath them and put them back on top. Okay, so what these do is, if I ever finish my turn with any battalions on a plasma conflagration, they will be damaged by 1. So that guy rolled. Let's keep them up closer for now. And then you finish off the dragon round after it does its sequence and then its special. Then you finish off by reloading for its next attack. And so again, we're still at 1 magic, so we're just pulling 1. Each dragon also has a kind of a theme to the way its attack geometry works. So Shame does crosses and slashes, so they're basically lines, cardinal and off cardinal lines. So you'll see this is off cardinal lines to make 2 X's basically. Okay, alright, and so now it's player turn. And so yeah, if you remember, if I leave any of these guys on plasma, they will be well, at least the uncovered ones, they will be damaged at the end of the turn, end of my turn. But anyway, we're gonna go. We got 2 orders per side. The first thing we're gonna do is with the 6 of flame, we are going to incinerate this one right here. I don't want to do this one because then this guy will also get incinerated. So if you know, targeting that one means it takes out the adjacents 2 and does 3 damage. So that's going to deal this 3 damage to this guy. Now he's going to go down to 33. Beautiful, just like we like it. Let's toss all these back. So we already got him. Got this first phase halfway done, and then for my second order on black, we're going to 1, 2, 3, and hit him again with an engagement and spending black's card for 3 additional damage. So that's 4 total, which will reduce him down past. And so that will get him all the way down. You'll see the lowest number on the magic. There's a little dash coming out of the magic just to let you know that's the lowest value on the cube. So he's down below that even because he was 33 and he got hit for 4. So this one goes into my graveyard and we replace it with the next cube. And we place it off to the side for now. It won't come back until it comes during its attack. Which means there are no attacks that white can do on this turn because the dragon is gone. It is fleeing from reinforcements. One thing you'll see here is we now have 2 magic, so 2 cards in the column, but that when the dragon doesn't automatically add another card, it only refreshes this column at the end of its turn, so it won't get 2 cards until its next attack sequence. So now we are going to, with white, let's do some preparatory. So we know he's going to land at F2, which is just going to absolutely demolish that guy right there if we don't do anything about it. So D1 is safe, B1 is safe. This guy's gonna get hit. I think I'm just gonna let this guy get toasted and this guy get toasted. It's one of the covering battalions is super valuable in Dragon. I mean, it's valuable in any mode of Warline, but it's super valuable in Dragon's War. And when you're playing two armies, it really gives you a lot more of an opportunity to utilize that because you have more battalions to work with. So losing a single battalion has less gravity when you got two armies, two full armies. All right, so this guy's also going to get popped. This is just a basic 2 damage. So some dragons and some later attacks on this dragon even will have additional effects beyond its damage that are applied. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this off 1, 2, 3 and park here. I forgot to add my vigor to this one for engaging. What a brave little soldier. Or group or battalion of soldiers. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. And we're going to wait and see. You can see here at F2, I'm just waiting to pop this guy in the face. It's going to be fun. And now it is time to deal. It's the end of my turn, so this guy gets damaged by the plasma conflagration. So it goes down to 3. This one goes down to 5, which is kind of sad. Getting rid of my 6 of flame. So no more pouncing. Okay. Let's see what I got to work with. Magnus recovery, expert navigation. So, okay. So we'll resolve this dragon attack. And so he's, upon engagement with anyone, he will do 30. Anybody in a red zone is going to get hit for 2. And there he lands there. And then we resolve F6. We'll slaughter this one. And D4 is going to slaughter this one. And those are my own. Oh, and no, he was covered. And so yeah, so those actually are that's minimal damage. That's minimal damage. I like it. So now discard that. Roll his plasma dice. He is at A7. So that's right under this guy right here. And so again, it's target zone plus all adjacent. So as you can see, shame. That's one of the unique things about the way this dragon's gonna the way this dragon feels when you play him is the battlefield basically becomes more and more consumed over time by this damaging plasma. There are 24 tiles that it comes with, and so you use those until they run out. They will go away if, in the case that somebody takes damage from it, it goes away. So, bad teacher forgot to take that one away and that one away for the damage it dealt. And so those go back into the stash. And so they still, it's not 24 will go out and beyond. They will cycle in and out, and consume different regions of the map over time. Okay, and now we will reload his attack column, but remember this time he has 2. So we'll see what he's got. And I am at phase B. Horrible me. I forgot to add the phase B card. And so I would have put that in the discard pile previously, so it's gonna be okay. Or pardon me, at the bottom of this pile. Um, a little trickier in Tabletop Sim to put it on top, but we'll get it. There we go. There we go. So the B's in there now, which is a more advanced attack. I will not forget to do that next time. Okay, so Dragon's ready. He's going to do a big old slash. Oh my god, that's going to be decimating. 2 damage slash. He's going to hit him, this guy who is vigored, so, well, he's only 1, so that's not going to matter. Oh, and this guy. Beautiful. This beefy thing right here will engage that one if I don't move, and then there's a huge swath of death coming through here. And so, whew, this is getting tough already. This, I mean, Dragon's War is tough. It's a intentionally quite challenging solo / co-op game. Very brain-burning puzzle and palm-sweating decisions. So for black, so when there are more than one, by the way, more than one attack in the column, he attacks sequentially toward the deck. So pull him out away from the deck, attack toward. So it will be this one, then this one sequentially, which means this is the one close to his deck is always the last one. So that's how you'll know that that's where he will be during your turn. It will be more like, and so it will be right here. But what we don't want is that guy to get munched. So we are going to, white is going to give up expert navigation for black, which is going to make marching costs 1, which still, yeah. So this 6 can wheel and march for 1, even though that is normally 3 because of expert navigation. That gets him out of harm's way. Forget to remove my vigor at the start of my turn. And then we know the dragon's going to be there, so I'm going to wheel and march here. Prepare for a pounce. And then we're going to hit the dragon. We're going to do it. We're going to blast him. We're going to hit him for 3. Gives me 2 remaining magic. I will spend this one to get an additional magic, which gives me 3 remaining, so I can march off and be vigored. That hit him for 3, so he's down to 27. And then this one will hit him for another 3, which will bring him down, because that goes all the way down. And then phase C. We are now on phase C, which means the C card is going to go to the bottom of the deck. And this battalion is going to finish with a wheel. And we will keep the vigor on we'll move the vigor to that one. Dragon turn. Whoa, this one's slaughtered. Plasma. Pew. Cool. So here we go. Dragon is going to land here. Boom, slaughter this guy. Look at that, we're already 4 down. I still got 6 more spare. It's going to hit this one for 1 because it's figured. So it's going to go down to a 2. And then we have this attack is done. And this one is going to hit this one again, but no, it's not. It's actually going to hit this one. Deal 3 damage, wide cross slash. So that's a beefy one. So this one is slaughtered from the wide cross slash. No one else affected, but he landed here in this one. Remember, and discard and roll. And plasmify E7. When I get some time in the somewhat near future, I will create some custom D8s, if that is possible, in Tabletop Simulator that have the same face values, letters and numbers as the real game. Alright. And we reload. And he is at phase C, which still has 2 magic. Thankfully, good God, I don't need any more destruction in my life right now. This is what came out now. A 3 damage parallel slash and a 2 damage conflagrating cross. Just different direction. White's gonna boost it with a magic. So that's 3, so it can go 1, 2, 3 for a pounce, which will deal 6 damage, which we know. There's only 6 faces on this thing, and it will go to the graveyard. Dragon graveyard. Next phase will come out. D. Oh boy. Look at that one. That's a lot of 3 damage. Put that at the bottom. And that battalion is vigored. This one is no longer. And let's see. We want this guy to still be a 6. I need him. But I can't get out. This guy's going to have to get dropped. Not really going to be able to position them to do anything. So I'm just going to order 1 black unit. And then I'm going to order this one. White. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's get this one to safety. Boom. So that'll put them at E3, which is safe in both of these. Nobody's in plasma, thankfully, so no more extra damage. And it is now time for a dragon to swoop in. So it's going to land here. Boom. And deal a beefy amount. Oh man, I was threading needles here. Threading needles. Magic. Yes, indeed. And then he's going to deal 2 damage as he goes here. We are at 18, by the way. We are halfway done with this beast. It's going to deal 2 damage here for a slaughter, so that'll go stacking because the things are already covered, and then this will go down to a 4. And we will face it this way, and now you will see. Maybe think, oh, that's why you were okay with losing a 6 and going down to a 4. It's because now you were in prime territory for a little bit of poo-poo fight. That's it for that one. So, if you're not sitting here talking and explain things like me, you can probably imagine these rounds go very quickly, and like resolving the dragon is very fast. Um, One of my favorite things about the game mode. So we are at 8, which is we will double that as the D we said. Um, D3 plasma outpost aflame. It's starting to get flamed up, and we are now at 3 attacks. Oh boy, it's about to get nasty. Oh, guess what? We got to flip and shuffle to create the new deck. Oh boy. 3, by the way, is the most you'll ever have. So, that's more than you ever want to deal with anyway. So, uh, one of my favorite subtle things about the art on these cards is as the phase of the card gets higher, the perspective gets closer and closer to shame. So it's like dun 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 dun. By the time you're at the phase X, he's like right up on you. Right. So you can see what's coming next. I am probably not going to finish this match because it is 11:30 p.m. and I have to get up at 5 a.m. So um, I will save this game actually and potentially pick it up later for you guys to watch. But if you have any questions, ask them down in the comments or on the GameFound campaign or on the Discord server. The WARLINE Discord server, that is. So hope you have enjoyed learning about how Dragon's War flows. A lot of very cool strategic and tactical decisions to make. A lot of knowing how to maneuver through sacrifice, work with sacrifice to your advantage, create cool combos and such. I didn't use the frost stuff at all, which I should have. I could have done some pretty helpful stuff with frost, but I got absent-minded. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.